Imagine the ultimate symbol of raw power slicing through the ocean waves, a massive floating fortress that packs enough punch to reshape battles and save lives in disasters. We are diving into the world of modern aircraft carriers, from Britain's mighty HMS Queen Elizabeth leading the charge with stealth fighters, to America's unbeatable supercarriers dominating the seas. These beasts aren't just ships. They're game changers in global defense, alliances, and high-stakes ops. Stick around as we unpack their tech, teamwork, and triumphs that'll leave you in awe of naval might.*K folks. Welcome back to the channel where we break down the coolest tech and stories from around the world. Today, we are zeroing in on one of the most impressive feats of modern engineering, the HMS Queen Elizabeth, the Royal Navy's biggest and baddest warship ever. Launched back in 2017, this beast is the flagship of the fleet, representing Britain's muscle on the high seas and its ability to project influence anywhere on the globe. She's a giant at over 900 feet long and tipping the scales at about 65,000 tons, making her a true heavyweight in naval warfare. What makes her stand out? Versatility, that's what. This carrier isn't just built for all-out combat. She handles everything from intense firefights to rushing aid in natural disasters or humanitarian crises. She can haul up to 40 aircraft, including those slick F-35B Lightning II stealth jets, Merlin helicopters for search and rescue or anti-sub-ops, and a bunch of other support gear. The design is next level too, with 2 separate control towers, or islands as they call them. One handles steering the ship, while the other runs all the air traffic, keeping things smooth and efficient. Throw in top-of-the-line radar, killer comm systems, and an electric propulsion setup that boosts her range and cuts down on fuel guzzling. And you've got a machine that's ready for the long haul. The flight deck is where the magic happens. It's huge, with a ski jump ramp at the end that lets planes like the F-35B blast off short and sweet, then land straight down vertically. No need for fancy catapults or wires. This setup means she can launch air-ops fast, even in rough conditions or tight spots where bigger carriers might struggle. It's all about quick response and adaptability, turning her into a mobile airbase that can pop up anywhere now. HMS Queen Elizabeth doesn't sail alone. She's the star of the UK's Carrier Strike Group, a full-on naval powerhouse. Picture this: destroyers zipping around for air defense, frigates hunting subs underwater, stealthy nuclear subs lurking below for intel and strikes, plus supply ships keeping the whole crew fueled and stocked. Together, they form this self-contained task force that can deter threats, join international drills, and back up allies. It's Britain's way of saying, we are committed to keeping the oceans safe and open for everyone, reinforcing freedom of navigation and global security. Music swells here as we think about that unity on the waves. Zooming in on the group, it's got all the pieces for multi-domain ops. At the core is the carrier herself, slinging F-35Bs for strikes or recon, and Merlins for everything from hunting subs to dropping supplies. Flanking her are those Type 45 destroyers, pros at swatting down missiles and planes, and Type 23 frigates locked in on anti-submarine warfare with their sonar and torpedoes. Then you've got the Royal Fleet auxiliary tankers and logistics ships, pumping in jet fuel, ammo, and grub so the group can stay out there for months without docking. Under the surface, an Astute-class nuke sub sneaks around, gathering intel, scouting ahead, and packing a punch if needed. This combo isn't just muscle, it's smart, coordinated power that projects influence, builds partnerships, and guards key shipping routes with precision. One cool milestone? Her first at-sea refueling gig in the chilly North Atlantic. Picture the Queen Elizabeth cruising steady next to the RFA Tidespring tanker, hoses hooked up, pumping thousands of gallons of that golden jet fuel while waves crash and winds howl. It's a tricky dance requiring top-notch seamanship from the crew, but they nailed it. This kind of op is crucial for keeping the strike group humming during long deployments, ensuring they're always ready to project power. Worldwide shifting gears to Italy's take on. This, the Cavour carrier, got a massive upgrade when it qualified for the F-35B back in April 2021. Suddenly, she's not just a light carrier anymore. She's a serious player. She can stash 10 of those stealth birds in the hangar and park 6 more on deck, totaling 16 ready to roll. These F-35Bs blow the old Harriers out of the water, faster, stealthier, with internal bays for missiles and precision bombs like JDAMs, keeping them hidden from radar. Overnight, the Cavour leveled up from limited air support to a full-on strike force. Changing how Italy deploys naval air power. A big part of what makes these carriers shine is cross-decking. Basically, swapping planes between allied ships to boost teamwork. It's all about interoperability, letting aircraft from one Navy land, refuel, or launch from another's deck. For instance, you've got Royal Air Force and Italian squadrons teaming up in the Med, flying off both HMS Queen Elizabeth and the Cavour. This flexibility amps up tactics, lets allies share know-how, and builds that unbreakable bond. It's prep for real joint ops, showing unity and making everyone stronger against common threats. On the Queen Elizabeth's deck, things get orchestrated from the rear island, which doubles as the airboss's tower, kinda like ATC at an airport but on steroids. Ground crew use hand signals and radios to guide planes, syncing with the tower for launches and recoveries. When an F-35B is geared up, the pilot gets the green light, throttles up, hits the ski ramp, and soars off. Coming back, they hover down vertically or roll in with a bit of speed in what's called shipborne rolling vertical landing. Super efficient and less wear on the gear. Over on the US side, we've got the heavy hitters. The older Nimitz class carriers are still beasts, but the new Gerald R. Ford class is stepping up as the top dog. Both displace over 100,000 tons, absolute monsters. Nimitz hauls about 90 planes, while Ford dials it back to 75 plus for more efficiency. Nuclear powered. They can cruise for years with regular resupplies, and right now, there are 10 Nimitz in service and 1 Ford. With more like the JFK and Enterprise coming online to refresh the fleet, what sets them apart? The Cavour system, catapult-assisted takeoff but arrested recovery. Planes get slung off using steam catapults, 4 on Ford, but that's evolving to a MALS, an electromagnetic launcher like a toned-down railgun for smoother, controlled boosts. Landing snag-arresting wires, 4 on Nimitz, 3 more advanced ones on Ford with AAG hydraulics that ease up on drones and future unmanned birds. It's tech that keeps the US Navy ahead, handling everything from Super Hornets to recon UAVs when you stack them up globally. Only France's Charles de Gaulle comes close. Also rocking Cavour. But she's half the size at around 42,000 tons and 860 feet long versus Nimitz's 1,092. She carries fewer birds, mainly Rafale MS for strikes. Both nuclear-powered with similar setups, they train together a lot, French jets practicing on US decks and vice versa. Building that transatlantic bond, with 6 NATO nations fielding carriers, their combined might is unstoppable. Team up the Charles de Gaulle, USS Harry S. Truman, and Italy's Cavour. And you've got a trifecta packing Rafales, Super Hornets, and F-35BS for air dominance, precision hits, and wide area scouting. They deploy troops fast, secure seas, and in carrier ops, they nail multinational teamwork, deterring bad actors, sharing strategies, and protecting trade routes in hot zones. It's all about stability through strength. Take Exercise Chesapeake as a prime example. This was a groundbreaking integration drill where 350 French airmen from the Charles de Gaulle's Air Group teamed up with the US Navy stateside. Named after a historic battle, it focused on keeping pilots sharp with carrier quals, landings, takeoffs, the works, on American decks. It honed skills, ensured seamless ops with allies, and boosted readiness for joint missions. At the end of the day, carriers are the crown jewels of any navy, flexing unmatched power. From ski jump setups on the Cavour and Queen Elizabeth to Cavour on US and French giants, they're the pinnacle of sea dominance. In our tech-driven world with tight alliances, these ships embody ambition and expertise. Ops like cross-decking, Chesapeake exercises, and NATO tricarrier drills showcase that collaborative spirit, guaranteeing smooth execution in tough spots.